In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use filtering in your Gmail inbox, and filters can be used in conjunction with labels to automate the process of mail coming into and leaving your inbox. So in the previous video, I talked about how to set up labels, and here are the two that I created. I have YouTube and this one for Sandra. And while it's wonderful that I get these notifications from YouTube that my video has successfully posted or I have new activity on a particular video, I don't want these cluttering up my inbox all the time. And so what I can do once I've created that YouTube label is I can check that off. And now instead of going to the labels menu, I'm going to go to the more menu up here, and I'm going to do filter messages like these. Now, when you set up a filter, there's really two steps in this process. One is determining what the criteria is. So what do you want the filter to essentially look for? And by default, it's going to choose the sender of the message. So we have no reply at youtube.com. Now, you could also have here the subject. So those ones that say congrats in them. Your video is on YouTube. Because maybe I do want to see some of the messages from my YouTube channel, but not all of them. So I'm going to filter out the ones that are just reminding me that, yes, your video posted to your channel. But you can also use has the words, doesn't have the words, has the attachment. And then you can also even select ones that have attachments greater than or less than a certain size. So I'm going to go ahead, and once I put in the criteria, the next step is to create a filter with this search. And now I decide what I want to do with the message. So that's the second part of setting up the filter. So I'm going to say I want to skip the inbox because I don't want these messages cluttering up my inbox. And I also want it to automatically apply the label YouTube because I don't want to have to search for those and waste a lot of time. I want those to automatically be labeled so I can very easily locate them. So I'm going to choose the label YouTube. So I've picked two options here: skip the inbox, apply the label YouTube. Again, you can choose any of these options. These are all selectable. I could have said delete it. I could forward that message to somebody else if I had a forwarding address. I could never mark it as important. And then it also, because it uses the criteria I set up in the previous step, the sender is no reply at youtube.com and the subject is congrats, your video is on YouTube. It found 7 messages that match those criteria. So I'm going to say I want to apply the filter to those as well and click create filter. So now what should happen is whenever I receive a message from YouTube that's telling me that my video has successfully posted, it's going to skip my inbox, so it's not going to show up here, but it will show up here underneath the YouTube label. And since I applied that to 7 other conversations, you can see those are here now underneath that label. So it automatically archives it and automatically applies the label YouTube. Now let's use this message for another example of filtering. If you receive a message from your administrator or perhaps your supervisor, you want those to stand out, and you've chosen a particular color for that label. Maybe it's red or blue, or in this case it's yellow. So I'm going to check off this one again. I'm going to go back up here to my more menu and select filter messages like these. And this time you can see it's put in has the words list because this was sent out to a group in Gmail. But I'm going to change that. I'm going to remove the list. I'm going to put from Sandra Oatley. I'm going to create a filter with this search. And what I wanted to do is automatically apply the label. So I'm going to do Sandra Oatley, and I want it to star the message because these are important. I'm going to apply it to matching conversations and click Create Filter. And now you can see anytime that I receive a message from Sandra, it's going to apply that label so it stands out in my inbox from the other messages and add a star to it so that I know it is extremely important. So using filters in conjunction with labels allows you to, again, automate the process of having email come in and out of your inbox. You can have messages skip your inbox and automatically archive. You can automatically apply a label. You can automatically delete messages. And that way you're only going to work with the messages that really deserve your attention.